Hey, really glad you dropped by. And today I want to talk about forgiveness and letting go of bitterness. So, you probably have a friend or know of someone, their whole body just looks like a bad pickle. And for me, a lot of that is holding on to the bitterness of life, the anger, the resentment, the rage. And so many people ask me, how can you find forgiveness after going through a traumatic incident or what seems to be betrayal or seems to be unjust or worse, something that actually is criminal. And for me, I've experienced quite a bit of abuse slathered in every corner and crevice in the home that I grew up in, sexual abuse in the workplace, financial abuse, physical abuse growing up and in a relationship. Um, and ultimately, the abuse of manipulation, gaslighting, and narcissistic abuse. And those things, when I really look at them, if I can step out of it, I can see the gift inside of it and that there really is sweet in that bitter. Going through a divorce, my husband was an alleged narcissist. He took up residence in the master bedroom. I was in a partial conversion in the garage in a home I bought, maintained for our family. And it felt unfair, especially knowing I was going to owe him a six-figure payout at the end of this. If I was even going to be able to make that payout, I didn't know if I was going to have to sell the home that I treasured so much. And there were many times that I felt the rage of injustice and I felt the anger and what seemed to be unfair. But ultimately, I had to step aside and remind myself this man was a great teacher. He was reflecting back to me what I was allowing, what I was accepting. And I could step through it and make a choice to get out of the victim role that we're all taught to play so well, that tit for tat, that they've got to learn. No, they don't. Ultimately, I wouldn't want to be in my ex-husband's body. I wouldn't want to have to live the life that he lives. And the family I grew up in, there was plenty that I could have been rageful for. I was an innocent kid. But ultimately, what I learned in that family served me once I could unwind the threads and really examine it and take the jewels along for the road. And I have a really good, positive relationship with my family. I respect the roles they played, just like I respect my ex husband for the role he played. Ultimately, it's helped me to let go of the rage, the anger, and the bitterness that I was carrying in my body and physically showed on my body. I have to say, in my early 20s, I don't look well. I look worse than I do now, decades later, because I learned how to let go of some of the trauma, some of the hatred. And I've decided not to wait till I cross over on the life review. I've decided to do it now and to see these opportunities to grow as gifts. And you can do it too. It's not easy, but it's the best way to unhook yourself from that perpetual wheel that keeps you a prisoner to the abuse that you've experienced, the injustice, the unfairness. If you can work through it and then understand that those challengers or challenges, they were just opportunities for soul growth and move through it, you will be living in a new zip code. I certainly am. Things that kept me tied up and twisted, I can now let them go and honestly say they're gone. And when they come up again, when the rage and the anger does, because I'm a human being, it comes up, I know that forgiveness is freedom and releases the bitterness. My body's more mobile than it was. My being is more authentic. I'm more comfortable in my skin. Even in circumstances that should be awkward, I feel love. I feel compassion. And it's huge. And you can do it too. So maybe not an easy message today, but one I'm a firm believer in, and I'd love to help you through it. There's plenty of videos here and that I talk about it. There'll be a free course soon on my site, moving through toxic family characteristics to find tools for healing. That's a free tool for you. If you benefited by this message today, please share the video with somebody else that would help. And if you feel moved, subscribe. But please know we're in this together. And I can honestly say from my heart that forgiveness is your pathway to freedom and a release of that bitter taste that's imprisoning you right now in this moment. Step up and step through, and you'll be living in heaven on earth. Take good care.